Cindy. I have a really fun way that I'm going to introduce you to Stampin' Up's brand new 2020 to 2022 in colors. So let's get started and I'll show you what we're going to create today. So we're going to start with a base of cinnamon cider cardstock. Now this is 5.5 inches and I've cut this at 7 inches. So I've taken this piece here. All right, so I'll put that to the side for right now, and I'm going to take this piece, which is 5.5 by 7, and I'm going to score it at 4.25 inches. And then we'll fold this over, and this will be the front of our card. Now I want to add some texture, so I'm going to take this scrap piece here, and I'm going to place this in my Dainty Diamonds 3D embossing folder. So I will put this inside the folder. You want to line it up so that you can see the pattern. Put it through your embossing machine, and when you're done, you will get this nice piece like this. All right, now I'm going to take this piece and add some glue to the back. And then I'm going to glue this on the inside of the card, and it'll just line up right along the right side of the inside of the card. Okay, so now that's done. The next thing I'm going to do is use a piece of our designer series paper. This is also the coordinating cinnamon cider, and this comes in a paper stack of 6 by 6, and it has all the in colors in it. And then I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this. Is a 1 inch by 5.25 strip, and I'm going to just put this about a 1/2 inch from the folded part of the card. Okay, and place it on there and stick that down. All right, so the base of the card is done. So now we're ready to make our pineapple. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do a pineapple using some dies. So the first die that we're gonna use is this one here. Now you might wonder, where does this die come from? Is it from a label set? No, this die comes from this really cute Hippo and Friends. So let me show you the dies. So as you can see, these are meant to coordinate with this adorable Hippo Happiness stamp set that was designed by demonstrator Robin Cardin. And then we have the matching dies. So although it has the cutesy images to go with the stamp set, it also has all of these really cool frames. And so it was the largest one here that I took out of this set to create my pineapple shape. All right, so this is where I'm going to introduce you to another Stampin' Up color, and that is Bumblebee. So I've die cut the shape with Bumblebee cardstock, and then I embossed it with that same embossing folder that I did on the inside, the Dainty Diamonds. All right, the next color I'm going to introduce you to is our Just Jade, and I die cut that with this In The Tropics Dies, which is an older set. It came out last year, and you might have seen it recently where I used it to create this cute little mini tea light holder, because this die set has this really nice pineapple bottom. Okay, so now we have our pineapple shape with just 2 simple die cut pieces. So let's put these together. So I'm gonna take and add some mini glue dots right at the bottom of the crown of the pineapple. So we'll put 2 of them side by side. And then I'm going to just lift this up and carefully place that right along there and press it down. So now we basically have a pineapple. So fast. All right, so then this is gonna get mounted right on the center of the front of our card. So we only want dimensionals on the side here. We don't want to put any dimensionals over on the right side. So I'm just going to flip it upside down. I'll grab my dimensional sheet, and I want to put a dimensional right there to hold the crown of the pineapple. And then I'm going to put one in the center, and then I'll put one down here at the bottom. Okay, so we can take off the backs. And we'll flip this around, and then we'll just center this right down the front of the card. Oops, where did that come from? Okay, so now we have our pineapple. So now, in order to have all the in colors on this card, we still need to add 2 more colors. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is our brand new pink color. This is Magenta Madness, and I'm going to be punching a flower with our Small Blooms punch. So we'll punch out 1 flower like that, and then with the same scrap of paper, the Magenta Madness, I'm going to use our new Confetti flower border punch. So I'm going to punch this out, and it makes a whole bunch of cute flowers. And so I'm going to just take this small one here, and you can see it even makes this really cute little tiny one. So yeah, that's a really fun punch. And then what else is cool about that punch is that you can make a whole border down the edge of a piece of cardstock with this nice flower design. Okay, so we have our flower. So then I'm going to take my mini glue dots, and I'm going to put that little flower onto a glue dot, and I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to center that so that it just adds a little dimension to the small blooms punch. And then I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to add a dimensional on the back, and then this is going to go right here on the front of the pineapple like so. All right, now the next thing that we want to do is add a sentiment. So I'm going to be using a word that comes from the stamp set, Cute Fruit. So if you've been watching my videos, I've been having a lot of fun with this set, especially love these faces, but we're going to use this sentiment right here in the middle that says smile. So this is a really teeny tiny stamp. So let me grab a little scrap piece of white paper, and then here is the way we're going to bring in the Misty Moonlight. So the Misty Moonlight is going to be stamped. So I'm going to ink up my smiles, and I'm going to stamp that word on this scrap of paper. Now this is a tiny little sentiment. So the way that I like to put these on is with punches. So it's kind of a trick where you can take a punch and you can line it up like that. And then this is entirely way too big. This punch is way too big for that sentiment. But because I just wanted this sentiment to be on a tiny little rectangle of cardstock. But by centering it on a punch, I can just use my paper snips to trim off the edges. And now I have a perfect little rectangle base for my word, and I didn't have to cut it that tiny and then try to stamp it in the center of that. So it's much easier to do that when you're using a punch. So to put this on, I'm going to add a mini glue dot, and that is the final in color to this card. So we have Cinnamon, Cider, Just Jade, the Magenta Madness, the Bumblebee, and then the Misty Moonlight. So the last thing that we have to do is add our champagne rhinestones. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm gonna pick up a rhinestone and put it right there in the center. And then I'm gonna take a medium-sized rhinestone and put it to the side. And then the final stone that I'm going to use is this tiny one here. I want to dot the I of the word smile. And that also just kind of brings that shimmer all the way across the pineapple and down to this sentiment right there. So speaking of smiling, I hope that learning how to make this card today made you smile. I hope that you love the new in colors as much as I do, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to use our Stampin' Up dies and punches to create a pineapple shape. It was really fun spending this time with you today. I hope you'll come back and stamp with me again soon. Until then, aloha.